Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava karomi adyat sakalam pareisma narayanayethi samarpayami Narayanayeti samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. In this series of videos, we are going to talk about Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, of divine love, of God realization. So we are going to talk about the Narada Bhakti Sutras, a beautiful work attributed to sage Narada that talks about in full length of the path of devotion. May you all find inspiration in this work. May you all find meaning and purpose in your spiritual quest through these words. This kind of work, these words, these sutras, they bring light and they open the door to the life of the real quest for liberation. May you also find divine love in your heart. Moving on, Narada Bhakti Sutras, continuing on the 4th chapter, Renunciation. So, Sutra 8. On the contrary, control of desires means the resignation or consecration to the Lord of all worldly and spiritual activities. So everything is consecrated to the Lord, to serving the Lord. So all should be aligned with this intent. And only this by itself. Is it serving the Lord, serving me? Only this concept of consecrating everything to the Lord will take care of a lot of things by itself. So all activities, worldly, spiritual, should be all consecrated to the Lord. Then it becomes all spiritual activities. So let's go to some points. So reduce your activities until you reach the state of serving, of only serving the Lord. Because, well, you cannot go from where you are to the opposite in one go. But there's a lot that you can do. So reduce your activities as you can, increase your devotion until everything becomes only service to God alone. Cultivate this passion. This you can do and must do for sure. Because the more this passion you cultivate, the more time you will have to dedicate to the Lord. Less this passion, more desires, less time, less focus. Whatever your mind is, it grows on you. So cultivate this passion towards everything but the Lord. Learn to discriminate that which serves your interests, your deluded interests, or what serves your best interests. So what is that which is serving God? What is that which is serving illusion? So learn to discriminate what's real, what's not real, what's worth it. Hold on to God alone. So praying is very important because It is your direct communication with God, your direct line. And praying is from the heart. So it is real, it is potent. And it helps you to establish a direct communication with God. You talk to him and he answers back. Singing the names of God, stories of God. This helps to release this love, to purify the heart. And do japa, mantra chanting. The names of God, chant them continuously, non-stop. This purifies the heart, the mind, and increases devotion. The desires will gradually lose very much of their force if you do these things. But at the same time, you cannot be feeding them. You cannot be entertaining desires, entertaining attachments. You must work diligently in putting all aside. Then these practices will bring fruit. Growth of divine love, renunciation of action comes by itself. So in this, the renunciation of action and the growth of divine love come by itself as you are doing these mentioned practices, renunciation and japa, singing, and all of this. Then this divine love and the renunciation of action becomes natural. Intoxication with divine love. Devotee knows nothing but the Lord. This is where you will get with this. This is a very important point. Desire which is suppressed for some time will manifest again with redoubled force. If the aspirant is not careful, if there is some waning in his vairagya and spiritual practices, and if he mixes with worldly-minded people. So this is a very important point. By itself is a very big teaching. So you may suppress your desires for some time, and it's important to do so as you are burning them with the fire of this passion and with your practice of devotion. So this is taking care of desires. But some get suppressed before they get burned. So if they are not seen, it doesn't mean that they are not there. So you must be diligent. And they manifest again if you slack your efforts, if you're not vigilant, and especially if you mix with worldly-minded people. Worldly-minded people are full of worldly-minded sanskars. And these will imprint on you and strengthen your only worldly sanskars. And those desires that were suppressed, were not being seen, will come with much more force and will drag you down again, will make you fall. So this is to pay attention, because to be vigilant is very important. And if there's no God realization, it's not over yet. So this must be the mindset. So always be vigilant. And whatever step you have given in the direction of God, don't go back. It doesn't matter what happens, don't go back. And your spiritual practices, your commitment to God, your directing your love to God must be continuous. If you reduce it a little bit, you open a space for the other things that are still there, lurking. And this is the normal. But if you add this with mixing with worldly minded people, that will be disaster. Especially for those who have been in a lot of time dedicated to their God communion, but are not completely established there, and they mixed freely with worldly minded people, and that makes it all collapse. So be very vigilant. So Sutra 9. So another aspect, single-minded devotion to the Lord and indifference to all that is antagonistic to Him. So everything which is antagonistic to God, to the Lord, to your devotion to God, everything that endangers that you should cultivate indifference to it. This is very important, because the success of reaching devotion or not is broken by this. So single-minded devotion is an important factor of devotion. So if you have desires, that means there is devotion towards desires, constant focus. But for God, you need single-minded devotion. It cannot be shared with other things. So desires are antagonistic to the Lord. So you should create indifference to it. Surrender everything to the Lord. Do every action dedicated to the Lord. This will help you to move from ego-based actions, to only actions to God. Because eventually, as you are offering everything, there are certain things you will not be able to offer, will not be good. You know it's not proper. And eventually that feeling will help you to cut that which is not respectful of God, of that love. So offer everything to Him. So a devotee realizes that the Lord alone has given him intelligent opportunities. He does not take any credit to himself. He attributes everything to Lord's grace, sweet or bitter. Because for the devotee, the one who is seeking God, his hands are with the hands of God. God is guiding his life. And everything is an opportunity for God realization. He doesn't entertain no more of his own goals. He wants only God. So whatever is coming in his direction, it is God giving him opportunities so that he may drop everything which is illusion bound and merge with the Lord. So cultivation of virtues for single-minded devotion, to achieve this single-minded devotion. Satsang, either a guru, a saint, saints, devotees, the ones who have already realized God. These are all synonymous. So being in their presence, living with them if possible, serving them, this is a means to achieve that single-minded devotion. But again, serving them as an end, not as a means, because that will not bring good fruits. Well, it always brings good fruits if you can persist, because eventually frustration is the elixir of clarification. And it helps you to evolve, to grow, to put aside that which is no longer needed. So satsang, being in the presence of a guru, a saint, a devotee, a God-realized devotee, this is very good. It helps you to develop single-minded devotion to the Lord. So, diet also, as you grow into this, milk and fruits are the best for this. Because they are sattvic in nature, and well, in self-restraint and in all this context that it's being spoken of, this will be the most suitable diet. But of course, for the beginning, this is unsustainable. But it should gradually move in this direction. The food should become more and more sattvic in nature. Fasting also helps to elevate the mind, to purify the body, to purify the mind, to purify the heart. Fasting is very good. And as your energy goes down to digest food, it stays away from these higher centers and centers itself in the lower centers, making it more difficult to God communion. So fasting helps to elevate in the direction of the divine, of God. So fasting is also very good. So control of sleep, not sleeping too little, not sleeping too much. But it's better to sleep less than to sleep more. Or else this tamasic condition takes over your mind becomes dull, heavy, and that higher devotion not possible. Sometimes look for seclusion, to be alone, far away from everything. It will help you to strengthen your devotion, your single-minded devotion. Observance of mana, silence, is also a very important aspect. It cuts you loose from a lot of distractions, helps you to preserve your energy and to direct it all into God. Brahmacharya should be resorted to. So, brahmacharya, absence of sexual relations, this is also important in devotion, because single-minded devotion is very explicit. And as if there's the absence of brahmacharya, well, devotion is being shared with other things. So, some points which are interesting, which are obstacles to this single-minded devotion, it's good to talk about them. So the love of ease, being quiet, or things being easy, this is a very big obstacle. A devotee goes through a lot of difficulties, hardships, and if he doesn't have this spirit to go through them, he will not be able to proceed. Gluttony also makes you lazy, dull, heavy, mind gets clouded. You need a sattvic mind, sattvic body for this purpose. Laziness will not allow you to continuously contemplate in God, to do whatever is necessary for this purpose. And again, a state of mental slumber. Seeking comforts, another big obstacle, a tendency of the mind of being comfortable all the time, the body comfortable, the mind comfortable. This quest for comfort is very, very well confused in the spiritual life. The spiritual path as a means for a certain comfort. You should remove this. This is a big obstacle. Gossiping, also a big obstacle. The list so big as to what gossip does. It's a disrespect to yourself, a disrespect to others. It's filling your mind with ludicrous nonsense. It's infinite. Stop gossiping. Just focus entirely in God. Worldly talks, because they increase your worldly tendencies, so this should be avoided completely. Sightseeing, looking around, appreciating all of this, single-minded devotion is single-minded attention to God. So this mind should be gradually trained like a stubborn child to let go, to overcome these obstacles and cultivate single-minded devotion to God. And creating indifference to all which is antagonistic to Him. This was the sutra. And this is very important. So those who don't believe in God, those who speak bad about devotion and all these things, that think it is nonsense and all of this, you should cultivate completely indifference to it. Distance, because this will harm your devotion greatly, and eventually it may even destroy it completely. So, sons, wife, property, husband, cattle, house, friends, relatives are the enemies of devotion. You must develop perfect indifference towards all of this. Because these come into the attachments, desires, sources of pleasure, and all of this. And this makes you forget about God. So these are the enemies of God, so to speak. Not of God, but of your God communion. It is more well put. So you must destroy illusion of these objects and reach the state of nirabhimanata, without mindness. This sense of mindness should be destroyed through dispassion, through complete indifference to all of this. Infatuated love towards body, children, father, mother, wife, husband, hides a deep-rooted attachment to the body. Other bodies are only important because you are believed to be a body yourself. So the love for the other bodies has this implicit belief and attachment to your body. And this is a hindrance in devotion. Thoughts of the body, thoughts of wife and children, friends, persons of attachment make you forget God. You cannot think about both at the same time. And all of these things come with responsibilities that then draw more and more your attention. Then just a little bit is there for God, and that will bring no God communion. So a passage in the Gita, which is important in this context, says, unattachment, absence of self-identification with son, wife, husband, and constant balance of mind in wished for and unwished for events. This is declared to be wisdom. So these are the words of Krishna. Everything is God given and God taken. It's God's care according to God's will. I tune to God and not to creation. I see no creation. It's all God. So let's not confuse this prematurely. And it is all God when I reach God realization, when God blesses me with God realization through my love and devotion. So this is very beautiful. God given and God taken. God is taking care. So I shouldn't desire anything, want something, don't want certain things. God is taking care. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva Tvameva bandhushka sakha Tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam Tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva